I've learned a lot from this beautiful couple. One being, Grindr is not the same as Tinder. At least it's not as effective. But secondly, and most importantly, every Forrest Gump finds their Jenny.
You were exactly who he explained in high school. And everything that he loves to do and wants to do, you do too, but some of them you do better than him.
Your love story is from a movie. I mean, come on. Who has baby pictures together of the groom looking at his bride at 9 months old?
When we first heard about the Tinder Humboldt boyfriend, we were skeptical.
Me and Carlos like to look at ourselves as the tough brothers that will fuck you up if you touch our sister. And we will fuck you up.
When we first met him, we immediately started going in on everything that we possibly could on him. Just ripping him, nothing was off bounds. The thing that kind of like blew my mind when I first met Kasey is he started shooting shots straight back at us, but it was actually funny.
My concerns were, right off the bat, he's just way too clean cut looking. You know, comes in, he's just like dapper, right? And he surfs. You know, so he's got 2 strikes against him right off the bat, right?
Asia, I love you so much. You have always been such a beautiful, badass, kind, funny person that others are so naturally drawn to. So seeing you get married to someone who matches your energy so perfectly has raised the bar for me and so many people in your life for what love can be.
I moved up to Humboldt for school and didn't know anyone in the area. And I had a roommate who used Tinder a lot. I'd never used it. I was pretty scared of Tinder. And I downloaded it and matched with Kasey pretty quick. I'd been up here for a month. And we went on our first date and he was driving his mom's Volkswagen with the seat really far back.
And a mustache, which I unfortunately forgot to grow out for this video.
And I wasn't quite sure what to think, but he was really cute and really sweet. And we went on our first date and we had coffee and I had little baby Bonnie. She was like 3 months old at the time. And we had a really good day.
Went to State Beach, went to Trinidad State Beach.
Walk the dog on the beach.
Asia wore boots with heels on them. And I wasn't quite sure what to think of her. This like gorgeous girl running down the beach in her heels, and I thought I was in for it with like a preppy little Santa Cruz girl. Yeah, word spread pretty quickly that...
We sat and had coffee and we probably had 10 people come up to us.
At least 10 people come up
I was
to
like,
us.
who is this guy?
Wasn't great planning on my part, I guess. So then the whole town had this idea that there's this new cute girl on the block with a new cute little dog, so I for sure had to make sure to hurry things up before someone else took her from me. So then I went home that day and my mom asked me who was the girl and what was I doing.
What were you doing showering at 10 a.m.
I got up
Saturday?
early, yeah, and I wasn't going surfing, and I actually put myself together a little bit. And so I started telling her about Asia. And said there's this girl from Santa Cruz that has moved to Humboldt and she's going to school. And she was super cute and surfed. And then my mom kind of stopped me in my tracks and she asked if she was raised a vegetarian. And I said, yeah, I think she said that. And then she goes, and does she have 2 brothers? And I was like, yeah, I think she said that too. She's like, her brother's name's Carlos and Taj? And I was like, yeah. And her mom's name's Sharon and they live in Santa Cruz and they live on 40 acres out in the woods. And so this is the point when I thought that I had found my dream girl who was my cousin.
I met Kasey's mom, Des, in San Diego when I was 5 years old. Des was 4 years old. We were total little buddies. Life happened and we lost touch with each other. We met up again years later when we were teenagers, and then we lost touch again. We met up again in San Diego when I had 9-month-old baby Asia. Des had 10-month-old baby Kasey. And our babies liked each other. We met up again when Asia and Kasey were tiny little kids and they chased each other around like little crazy wild people. Sometime later, Des and Mark and little Cam and Kasey came and stayed with us in our little cabin in Last Chance. Our kids all played in the woods. The parents drank tequila.
Is it perfect?
It's perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
Life happened, and we lost touch yet again. And then about 7.5 years ago, I got a phone call from Asia. She had just moved up to Humboldt, and she called me and said something like this. She goes, "Mom, I met this guy on Tinder. We went on a date, and I kind of like him." And then she added, "And I think you might know his mom." Kasey had told his mom that he had met this girl named Asia, who was from Santa Cruz, who loved to travel. Des started to put it together and asked, "Does she have 2 brothers named Taj and Carlos? Is her last name Carpenter?"
So I asked very quickly of my mom to make sure this wasn't a family member, because, I didn't want you to be my cousin, however much that would have been
really
fun.
Unfortunate.
So then we kind of put it all back together, and my mom was very excited, and she very much wanted to see Asia, and I'd only known Asia for a week, or re-known Asia for a week at this time. So I was pretty apprehensive to have Asia over to my mom's house and for my mom to make her dinner. And my mom was very upset about that. And my grandma actually showed up the next week. And then my grandma was also very upset that she didn't get to see Asia. But I wasn't trying to scare her off because I actually liked her. And I didn't want my family to scare her away right away.
No, they didn't scare me away.
So we gave it some time and finally kind of reintroduced everyone. And it was kind of just everyone meshed back together. Our moms are best friends again and have traveled to Indo together to come see us on our around the world trip. And they've traveled to the Maldives together to come see us. Her brothers are okay. And
They kind of like you too.
yeah, so it's been quite the journey of getting back from being little babies and finding each other again on Tinder. Thanks, Tinder.
Tinder success story.
And now getting married.
May 6, 2015. I guess that's what people have always said, knowing when you've met the love of your life. Well, I know. And I know that if I spend every day of the rest of my life with Kasey, then it'll be a life well spent. I'll be happy. I'll have the happily ever after everyone dreams about. Word for word, that was a journal entry from over 7 years ago. After having only known you for a few months. It is true what they say. When you know, you know. And Kasey, I've known from the very beginning.
Asia, we're finally standing here in front of our most important people getting married. It's been 7 years leading up to this moment, but I think we both knew we'd be here from the moment we re-met in the raised parking lot in McKinleyville. To then watching you run down the beach in your black high-heel boots, I knew I was going to marry you. And since that day, we've accomplished a lot. We've grown together and learned together. From traveling the world, working together, raising a dog, buying a house, and building a relationship through it all. Being with you has made me who I am today. I would not be the person I am without ever meeting you. You've taught me to push for the goals that seem the hardest, but mean the most. You've made me more adventurous, and live the travels I've always dreamed of. You've loved me when I've been difficult. You tell me all the time how proud you are of me, but I'm most proud to call you mine.
I've loved growing through life with you, when it's been hard and when it's been easy. Our wedding day to me means that I get to keep growing through life with you for the rest of my life, which isn't scary or overwhelming at all. In the course of my life, it's truly the best thing to ever happen to me. Being with you feels like the most good and natural thing in the world, like every past hardship was pushing me to this moment with you. I love you, Case. I love you more than I've ever loved anything or anyone, and I feel like the luckiest girl in the world to be your wife after today.
Today, in the presence of your family and closest friends, you have pledged a lifelong commitment to be loyal, loving, and true, to not only love one another, but also to like each other for as long as you both shall live. So without further ado, by the power vested in me by the state of California, it is my pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Whip that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me.
Asia, you have become the little sister I've always wanted. You've added so much love and happiness to our family already, and I'm excited to see more of that.
I love you, bro. I mean, I trust you more than anything. I'm trusting you with one of the two most important women in my life, so don't fuck it up, okay? I love you.
I love you guys more than anything, and Kasey, welcome to the family, and let's fucking party.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the reason you're all here today, let's make a lot of noise for the newlyweds. It's the new Mr. and Mrs. Cather!
Explain it all, good love, it just feels right. Oh baby, maybe you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Baby, I need you back, I do. You know your body needs me too. What are you doing now? Come through. Thinking about you made me lose my mind. I'm so crazy, baby, you're divine. Dreaming, scheming, need you by my side. Every waking